It's like right on the water. I'm not sure. It's at the Venetia.
Good evening and welcome to the school committee meeting of Monday, March 14th. We'll start with the acceptance of the minutes for the meeting of February 28th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
And a second?
With a motion from Ms. Davidson and a second from Dr. Morrow Small. May I have a take a vote? All those in favor? You have to abstain?
Yeah.
That's it, no more missing. So that's the three of us. All those in favor, that was a vote. Thank you. Under audience, we have Dr. Linda Manigula and for Director of Pupil Personnel Services and Michelle Kippingham. Welcome.
Good evening, and thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I have the pleasure of introducing Michelle Kippingham. She has been our Special Education PAC chairperson for the past 4 or 5 years and has brought all kinds of great trainings for our parents and guardians and great activities to our students, and we've had some parent and student activities. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, and she'll give you a summary of the things that she has brought to Rockland and then some upcoming activities as well.
Hello, thank you all for having us. As Dr. Maniglia said, I am Michelle Kippingham, and I have been the CPAC chair for 4 or 5 years. I also have a student in our special education system. And what I want to talk to you tonight about is just what the CPAC is, who we are, and what we do. So we are a group of parents that have either a child or a grandchild in special education. Some of the things that we've done in the past is we've had workshops that not only affect special education, but affect the general population. We've had ADHD workshops with Lane Doherty. She runs the Thinking and Doing Center over in Hanover. Hingham, and we had a very good turnout for that. We have done a Tools in the Box with our behavioral team led by Selena Textera. We have had a special needs dance that was held over at the Youth Commission, and that was for anyone in all towns. It wasn't just for Rockland, and we had a great turnout for that, and it was a wonderful way to get parents to, connect so that they had someone else to talk to. Special education and having children that have special needs leads to a whole another level of things to chat with that maybe your next door neighbor might not have the same problems that you might have. So it was nice to get them together. And also for the students to be able to be with their friends, or maybe they have a friend from another town, so they could invite them. So we did that right before COVID hit, and it was a big success. Another thing that we do, which we have done and taken very seriously the past few years, especially with COVID, is to find workshops for parents. So say you had a child that is going into the 18 to 22 program. We will find you a transition program or workshop if you're looking for information. We will find you DDS services. We have sat with parents and have gone over paperwork with them that they may be confused about. We have hooked them up with lawyers or whoever they might need to discuss the paperwork that they're needing to put in, even say for mass health, any sort of other needs, not just school-related needs. So we're here for the whole family and the whole child, not just education piece. So we're here for them to have fun. We can tell you where there's a dance class, where there's an acting class, where there's soccer, or even there is special needs hockey out there. So we have all of that at our fingertips that we are more than willing to help any parent with. If they'd like to contact us, we will find them whatever workshops they need. If they're looking for something specific, say for autism or ADHD or whatever it might be, we're capable of getting them the information they need, and if we're not, we'll find it for them. We also partner with the Federation of Children with Special Needs, and they're a great resource for parents also. We have a Facebook page, it's called Rockland CPAC, and we've put a lot of workshops that are virtual on there for parents. So they could go on there and see what else is happening. So Abington, for instance, might have a speaker that is a motivational speaker that they might get something out of. Rockland might not be putting it on, but Abington is, and we'll partner with them and say, hey, can we promote this? And we have a lot of parents go to those things. We also partner with Weymouth, Hingham, Marshfield, all of the local CPACs we coordinate with. We do one scholarship a year. It's the Ben Kimball Scholarship that we give funds to a student who has either been on an IEP or is going into special education. There are some other things, requirements, but if anyone would like to apply for that, they should contact, who should they contact?
Probably the principal.
Their principals, well, and go ahead and see if they're appropriate for that scholarship. But we do put on that scholarship through, we run one fundraiser a year, which is the toll booth, and it's usually in May, where we go out, usually up on Union Street, and we try to collect as much money as possible so that we can give a scholarship, because we like to give when we can. The other thing that we do as a CPAC for our schools specifically is if there is a child or a classroom that is in need of something, say a backpack, or the school would like, or the teacher would like gift cards to something, or specialized seating that one child may need, we'll reach out to them and say, hey, we have X amount of funds, what can we help you with? You know, as we've had COVID, it's been a little bit more difficult, but we're doing the best we can with all of that. So we are looking for new officers to come in and help, and new members for the CPAC, and I would love for any parent out there, or guardian, or whoever it might be, grandmother, aunt or uncle, anyone, come on out to CPAC. We'd love to have you. We are looking for a secretary right now. We are also looking for someone to help us with our social media. I know that for me, my child is going to be a senior next year, so I will be looking for someone to kind of jump into my role also. And we are more than willing to take anyone in and teach them whatever we have to teach them, and maybe they have some great ideas we haven't thought of. We'd love to hear any ideas. And just go from there. So anybody that would like to help us, we'd love that. We're always looking for new members. And this next coming week, Tuesday, March 22nd, we are doing a candy bar bingo at the Rogers Middle School from 6:30 to 8. It's for the whole family. They can all come. There is no admission. And we have door prizes, so we are very excited about this. We're hoping a lot of people come, and all the CPAC officers will be there to explain more of what we do, how can we help you if you have a problem with anything. It can be IEP related or even 504 related, anything to do, we will help you find the answer. We can connect you, obviously, with Dr. Maniglia and your teachers. We will help you as much as we can, and we'd love to have you come out and have a great time. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And wait, don't walk away. Any questions or comments from the committee?
I was just going to say, I know how much you do, Michelle, for all the members of our community, and how whenever I speak to someone who has a child who needs some services and they are not necessarily in this town, but you're always giving so much to everybody, and it benefits your children, but it benefits all of our children. And so just thank you for what you do. I know it's not a little amount of work, it's a lot. And we're also lucky to have you. You are such an asset to our community, so thank you for what you do.
Oh, well, Thank you. That was so nice.
I would just like to echo that statement from Melissa. It sounds like you're more of an advocate for the community and the CPAC family, I would say, because it sounds like you guys are all together and spend a lot of time together with all your numerous events, and hopefully they can find some people for their board so it can continue on.
Right, yes, thank you.
And I just wanted to add on to what they were saying. Thank you. You are a huge resource to this town. I don't think you realize how important and how big you are in this town for not just the CPAC kids, but all of us. It's nice to know that you are there for anyone that needs you. And you do a ton of work, so we can't thank you enough.
Oh, well, thank you. I
So,
appreciate it.
We'll be sad next year if you're going to be done.
Well, I'll always be around for anybody that needs anything, but I would, just because my child is getting older and I
Absolutely.
would like to go and do the next step, which would be on a DDS board.
Exactly.
Which is what I would
Exactly.
be looking for my next thing, so, yes. But I'll always be here for anybody that needs anything. Thank you.
Thank you for
Michelle.
your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Okay, on to monthly reports for the month of February. We have administrators, Dr. Harrison, Ms. Shipper, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Shifley, Mrs. Sheehan. We have guidance, Mrs. Black, nurse, Ms. Pang, and pupil personnel services with Dr. Maniglia. So I would like to entertain 4 motions.
4 motions to approve.
Do I have 4 seconds?
4 seconds.
All those in favor? Moving on to the school newsletters for Eston, Jefferson Memorial Park, the middle school, and the high school. As usual, they are super colorful. It's so exciting to see all the goings-on. And these are all, I think, believed to be emailed out to the families at home, so it's not just us that are seeing them. But there's a lot of time that goes into them, and we're lucky that we get to see them. Moving to building rentals for January and into February, yes. Our buildings have been super busy. It's awesome to see everyone back into the swing of things, almost back to normal. So that is exciting. And we'll go on to old business for the Phelps Elementary School update. Mrs. Davidson?
Not much of an update for this week's meeting. I just want to say that we'll be meeting tomorrow in person in the library, and you can also watch the meetings on WRPS.
Okay, thank you. Next up is the COVID update. Mrs. Hackett?
We have no cases or activities to report.
Wow. I know. I feel like there's a round of applause. 2 years, right, to the day almost. So
Say
that's,
the 13th?
Yeah.
14th, yeah.
yeah, very exciting. Thank you for all your hard work. On to FY23 budget update. Ms. Hackett?
Thank you. The overhead projector isn't working, so I apologize, but we had a meeting with Town Hall last week, and unfortunately, our projected budget has decreased by approximately $550,000. So the new number that we have been given by Town Hall is $27,909,952. It's $27,909,952. The previously approved budget by the committee was $28,460,272. So we do need to vote prior to town meeting the new figure given to us by Town Hall.
Yeah, so the reason for this decrease is in reviewing some projections over healthcare costs, they did discover some discrepancies in the healthcare budget number, which has changed our budget number. Okay. So I know that they're in the process of reviewing all budget numbers, and we'll be working closely with Town Hall over the next month or so to finalize our budget numbers and make sure that we're on solid footing.
Okay, so we don't want to vote tonight. We want to let them finish their review, and then we'll come back maybe in 2 weeks.
Sure.
Let them settle in.
Sure.
And make sure that everything is right before we have to change it again.
Sounds prudent.
Sound reasonable?
Yep, sounds
Okay.
I'm
prudent.
okay, yep.
Okay.
And when is town meeting?
May,
5th, I think?
Okay, so we have time to
I'm not,
reevaluate.
I believe with the warrant, town meeting is
it needs to be in so many weeks ahead of time for the warrant.
is May 2nd.
Okay.
And our next school committee meeting is the 28th. So I do not believe the warrant needs to be done by the 28th. I don't know that date for sure.
It sounds like, though, we have enough time.
Yeah,
Okay.
And if not, we'd have to have we could meet the night of,
if we had to.
Correct.
if we had to beforehand.
Right.
And hold a quick meeting.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I also had American Rescue Plan Act as part of the FY '22, as part of the overall budget update. It's complicated not showing you, so I apologize. I'm looking at my presentation. It's very
It's a lovely presentation.
So this is confusing, but there are two separate ARPA pots. Let's call them that. And for tonight, we'll just call them ARPA 1 and ARPA 2. All right. ARPA 1, the total amount available to the town is just over $1.8 million. $941,000 was distributed last June of '21, and $941,000 is under consideration in this June for distribution. Last year, we received $493,000, and that was to replace our lost revenue in our revolving accounts from January of '20 through December of '20. All right, just a snippet in a point of time. The town accountant at that time had identified $1,176,000 of school department lost revenue that would be eligible for reimbursement, and we received $493,000 of it. So right now, there is an additional $941,000 that's being discussed with the town, and we have $683,714 of previously identified lost revenue that could potentially fall into that category. All right, so that's ARPA 1. ARPA 2 is, in ARPA 2 is going to be distributed through Plymouth County. All right, and the total allocation for the town of Rockland is $3,388,760. Of that, $847,190 is available this June. All right, so the eligible costs are water and sewer, broadband, revenue loss, in premium pay. All right, and so conversations are ongoing with the town, again, regarding this money, but if you combine the $941,000 from ARPA 1 and the $847 from ARPA 2, we're up around $1.8 million is available for distribution under the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA 1 and ARPA 2.
Which would replace the lost revenue.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I mean, other things we are, sorry, I forgot to mention that in the original distribution in June of '21, we received $493,000. The town general fund received $365,000, and their revolvings, I believe, received approximately $86,000. The town has not expended any of the $365,000 on that they are eligible for. We met with Doug, with the town administrator, last week, and tonight we completed an application to request an additional $86,000 in reimbursement under their $365,000, which would cover our unexpected increase in massive testing of 26,000. It came to 66,000. We tested $66,000 of folks in December and January. We went from $34,000 in January to $2,900 in February. That is how big the spike was.
Right.
So they're going to cover that expense as well as some masks and tents out of that. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And we're ready for the next 2 rounds.
Okay. Thank you. Any
And it was
questions?
very slick.
I'm sure it was.
Presentation, yeah.
Sorry if we don't look transparent, but any questions? Nothing? Okay, thanks, Ms. Hackett. We'll move on to completed fundraisers. Our High School Drama Club had a Players Dine-In night for $500. The class of 2022 had Cupcake Charlie's Night, or fundraiser, for $874. The class of 2023 had also a Cupcake Charlie's Night fundraiser for $654. And then the class of 2023 sold Rockland sweatshirts, but they were in the negative for $89. So it proves that we really like our Cupcake Charlies, right? On to request for fundraisers under new business. Memorial Park PAC is going to do their book fair and an ice cream social. Rogers Middle School, the Student Council co-advisor, they're going to do St. Patrick's Day Lucky Grams, and Student Council co-advisor is going to do an MCAS pep rally t-shirts in the month of March for both of those. Under Rockland High School, the varsity softball team is going to do a snap raise in March. And I entertain 4 motions to approve the fundraisers.
4 motions to approve the fundraisers.
Do I have 4 seconds?
4 seconds.
All those in favor? And that's a vote. On to a request for approval of the graduation procedure in the parent packet for the class of 2022. Do you have anything to add?
It's extremely thorough as usual. This process is as close to what we did in the 1950s as we can reproduce
Stop.
today.
Some of us are bulldogs here.
I was warned 10 years ago when I arrived, do not change a hair on the head of this ceremony, so thankfully Dr. Harrison has continued in that tradition, and it's very thorough. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
I just have a comment. Is the
Sure.
rain date Sunday? I thought that, isn't it usually the next
It's
morning?
usually Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because it says rain date on here, 6/5.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me
the-
double check that with
Okay.
Dr. Harrison, but I believe it's Saturday.
Yeah.
And it does say, too, things are in the auditorium. Are we going to approach that when we get closer?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay.
Motion, I'd like to make a motion to approve the request of approval graduation procedure.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I have a second.
All right, all those in favor? That's a vote. And then on to Dr. Crum, the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. Just want to let the community know that the emergency management team met last week. It was nice to get that group together. It's nice to get together with police and fire, with our friends from town hall, and our generally we involved the senior center as well. We didn't have them at this meeting, but we did have Jean Blaney from the Youth Commission and the Chipmunks program. And we also had a special guest, Lauren Milkey, who is the deputy dispatch chief for the Holbrook Recreation Department. And she manages all the 911 calls that come into our area, so it was nice to have her there. We had a general discussion of our state of readiness, general review of any post-COVID concerns that we may have, or COVID-related concerns going on. The one thing that we did discuss at some length was just a general decline in social emotional skills on the part of the younger students, and we're seeing it play out in buses, on the buses especially. We're not surprised by it. We're seeing it in the classrooms. We're seeing it on the playgrounds. We think it's going to work itself out over time, but we are paying very extra special careful attention to the needs of our kids emotionally at this time. I'd also like to address a couple building construction related. We have 2 transition planning teams going on. We have the Phelps transition planning team, which is bringing together teachers and administrators to discuss all of the moving parts that are involved in switching over to the Phelps building. And we are also doing a similar group with the Eston Early Childhood Center transition. And last week we had a meeting. We brought Mark Sham and Tim Wells over to the Eston School, and we walked the building along with the transition committee, and we had some preschool folks there, and we looked at the classrooms so we can begin to get an idea of what our furniture needs might be and bathroom needs, and we need smaller toilets, and we want to replace some of the ceiling tiles. So we're looking at we're really getting down to brass tacks on that work now. So I'll keep you posted on that work as it goes on over the coming year, but it's very exciting. The charge that I have given this, especially the Early Childhood Center, is we have an opportunity to develop a very unique situation here in Rockland for our families. We have a chance to get every 4-year-old potentially in front of a certified public school teacher at age 4 instead of 5. That's profound. So we're going to work toward that diligently but carefully. I don't want to have 200 preschoolers in the building and we're not ready for it. I don't want to move to full day before we're ready for it. Right now we have a half-day program. So Dr. Maniglia is working with preschool, and we're looking at some models where we may begin to accelerate some of that transition, get some students who are interested in having an extended day at the preschool age. So we're working at that, because what we're seeing is students are coming in at kindergarten with perhaps less prepared than they were pre-COVID. So what we want are kindergartners who are prepared to handle a full day. And we also want to have a curriculum and instruction that's set up so that it's engaging and fun. And it's going to be very, very play-centered, play-based. But my charge to the group has been, what would be the greatest preschool program you could develop on the planet, bar none, sky's the limit, what would it look like? And so that's where we're working from right now. And it's pretty exciting. So I'm thrilled about that. I think I'm almost as excited as the former Superintendent Retchless was about having free full-day kindergarten. So that was a really big deal for him, and now I know why, because it's just to think that we could get our kids, get them in front of certified teachers a year earlier is just really exciting. So looking forward to that work, and want to thank Rebecca Kidwell, who's been leading these 2 transition planning teams. She's doing a great job. So we're very excited, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Oh, and one last thing. I just want to wish the girls luck tomorrow as they play Medway. They're in the big Final Four. That's a huge deal. We're so excited for them and the coach. So go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Any questions or concerns? No? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Cron. We will move on to the last part of our meeting for public service announcements. We'll start with our student representative, Ms. Pollack.
Prom tickets are on sale until Friday the 18th, so make sure you get those. Are $85 a ticket, so be sure to get that. Spring sports registrations have closed. If you still need to register, make sure to go to Miss O'Brien in the main office. And Dr. Cron stole my last announcement, which is the girls' basketball game is tomorrow at Quincy, so be sure to be there.
Thank you. Dr. Small?
The weather is beautiful. Hopefully it really is the start of spring and it feels like it keeps going back and forth. But I hope everybody's getting out and about and enjoying the sunshine and doing physical things. A reminder to keep checking in with the Youth Commission and all of the amazing programs that they offer. I'll just say they recently did some science programs, and my kids absolutely love them, and we're asking to sign up again. And I don't see any coming up, but I'll keep looking. And so I hope everybody's taking advantage of that, because they put on some great programming for our kids at really, really reasonable rates. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Davidson?
Wonderful. I also would like to congratulate and comment on the Youth Commission. They have done numerous events that are awesome for our community and get the kids out and about and running around. And I know the Easter egg hunt is coming up at Hartsett Park. The students arrived safely home from Belize from their school trip. I know there was some delays and adjustments on their schedule, but they're home safe. And then Shrek the Musical is the end of March, I believe the 25th and 26th. And you can buy your tickets. And also good luck to the girls basketball team tomorrow. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Hennessy?
I wanted to say happy daylight savings. I think I'm in a little fog,
I agree.
Hopefully everyone catches up on their sleep. I was going to mention Shrek. The Rogers Middle School Shamrock Classic is back, I believe, and scheduled for the 29th. So that's an exciting event for all families to attend, and the 8th graders get to play against the admin and the staff of the middle school. So it's always been a great event post-COVID, pre-COVID, so looking forward to that. Do want to buy my tickets to Shrek the Musical. I love Donkey. Wanted to thank the middle school teachers for always another great parent-teacher conferences. I went in person, and it was great to see the teachers so engaged and, supportive of all the kids and the great work that they're doing. So I think the high school parent-teacher conferences are coming up. So even though they're in high school, I still encourage you to stay engaged in your child's education. And it is halfway through term 3, so keep it up, right? We're almost to the end of the year. And with spring coming, still stay healthy. Allergies are probably going to start coming. My trees are blooming, so that could mask as COVID, right? So just please stay diligent, and that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much. And then on to me. I had the pleasure last Wednesday for Read Across America Day. I started off my morning with reading to Memorial Park's 4th grade class, the whole grade. It was so exciting. And I, of course, have my books in my phone because they went back to the library. I also read to the Jefferson students. After that, in the afternoon, to Memorial Park, I read Remembering Vera by Patricia Polacco. It was the cutest little dog that became a rescue lifeguard dog. It was sad, he passed away in the end, but it had a good hero story, and we enjoyed it thoroughly. And it was a true story, so I think the students thought that was really cool. And then in the afternoon, I went to Jefferson and I read Mo Willems' Waiting is Not Easy, and my children could tell you that I am a mama that does not like to wait, so that was perfect for me. So while I was there, I enjoyed my time with both groups, but I told the 2nd graders at Jefferson, since it was just the one class, that I would read their names and I would say hello and thanks for having me again. So that was Mrs. Sullivan's class at Jefferson. So I'm just going to read their names, so bear with me, and I hope I don't say any wrong. We'll start with Gabby, Ethan, Casey, Lewis, Anna, Connor, Jake, Emily, Lily, Swayze, Annabeth, Piper, Alex, Blessing, Mohammed, and Lyra. Thank you for having me. I will send you this clip so you guys can all see me, that I really am on TV. Right here in Rockland. We're spoiled. We have WRPS to have us here. So thank you all for having me. It was such a great time for me to be back in the schools, to be back seeing the kids. I feel like it's where our roots are. It always makes me feel like what we're doing and volunteering and all the time we put in has a reward when we get in those schools. For me this week, I have tonight, we have Phelps Building Committee, and then that's Tuesday night. Thursday night, we have Robert Nyman's 30th Anniversary Memorial Scholarship Fundraiser at the Rockland Golf Course. Rockland and Hanover students will receive scholarships, so I always try to attend that for the Nyman family to represent us here in Rockland. And I also wanted to shout out to the girls' basketball team, even though you all said it. Once a dog, always a dog. And good luck, girls. Go get them. And that's all I have. Do we have any other thing? Any questions?
Forgot, half day on Thursday.
Another half a day.
The 17th, they'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day, but it is a half day, so there you go, that's it.
All right, that's all. All right, thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
And a second?
All those in favor? All right, thank you. Have a good night, Rockland.